Hey everyone, Sean here, the Detroit Diz. It's another glorious day here in the D. It's looking a little cloudy here on August the 13th, 2026. It's another great, glorious, beautiful day in the D. So before we get started with everything, if you wouldn't mind helping us out get to our goal of 1,000 subscribers, you can help us out just by merely mashing that subscribe button. You know, we really appreciate every single one of our subscribers. You guys are what helps the channel move along, and also we appreciate you following our YouTube journey, and it means a lot to us. So this weekend I'll be going to the Woodward Dream Cruise. That's a large car cruise around the boulevards and the streets on the street. I say the street, but it really is the first Michigan highway, M1, and historical M1 Woodward Avenue in Detroit that goes from Detroit to Pontiac. But the cruise is really down from it doesn't go all the way down to Detroit. It just goes from Pontiac to almost the border of Detroit. I don't know why they ever didn't get it to go all the way downtown Detroit, but you know what? That's a lot of people like to just. I think it's because it started really in the suburbs and not in downtown, and I think that's the reason why. So, but it's really big. You know, all the car companies have little small areas that they they claim, the state claim to, and they build up a lot of displays and over about a 4 or 5 mile stretch. And then in Pontiac, they have a big giant, event going on there, a bunch of things happening there with the car makers and whatnot. So it's a big 1 day event of car cruising, but even though it's really supposed to happen on 1 day, it ends up happening every single day of the week of. So, yeah. Anyhow, so that's what's happening on Saturday. We may be going live. I'm not sure right now. I plan on taking pictures, but if it's going to be kind of weather, I may not do that. I may just do live, or I may do both. We'll see what happens. And I don't know if I'm going to be live on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, but I will let you guys know tomorrow night. So look for a video with an update of what exactly is happening on Friday at some point in time, to give you an update so you know what's happening. And I may go live on YouTube. All depends on how well the live go. Like if I can get a live signal, that's number one. I've never tried it before. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So, anyways, with all that said, let's kind of jump into things. So, a very first of its kind, Disney has come out and said that D23, the parks panel, will be live on Disney Plus at 7 p.m. this Saturday evening at 7 p.m. The Parks panel on Disney Plus. It will have the best coverage because it's going to be a real studio production kind of live filming of it all. And I cannot wait to see it, because I know, and you know, that we're all waiting to hear what we talked about it yesterday, the imagination of the Imagineers, right? What will they come up with? You know what I'm saying? What kind of futuristic plans will they or will they not do? And I think that is going to be really, really awesomely great. We'll be able to see things that they've been thinking about, and also updates on things that are ongoing. Whether it's parks, it will be all the parks, about the rides that are going on, that are Villains Land, Cars Land, what's going to happen with Carousel of Progress, maybe a Spaceship Earth update if they're going to update that. I heard Horizons, possibly, reimagining the Horizons ride and bringing it back. Now there's talk and speculation since the Central Orlando Tourist District Authorization Board, whatever you want to call it, authorized Disney that they can build a fifth park, or they can do whatever they want to do with some land that they already own. And they got the okay from them to build away, because they got to keep up with the the Joneses, you know what I'm saying, and so that's what's going on. They want to. I was thinking about traffic for a minute. I don't know, of course. Anyways, to keep up with other parks and stuff like that, why not build another park? And people are now contemplating where that park might go and what it might be and what are the ideas and what might happen. I'm not sure that that's going to be discussed at D23, but you never know. I mean, they may already have ideas. Sometimes they're very raw, these ideas, and sometimes they are really kind of what they kind of tweak things as things go along. You know what I'm saying? And they got to keep up with Universal Studios. So, anyways, so that's that's going to be happening. Make sure, if you're really interested in what's happening with the parks and all other jazz, make sure 7 p.m. This Saturday, the 15th, on the Disney Plus channel. Whole reason to subscribe, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so there was another drama issue going on, and on top of that, that became a lawsuit. So accordingly, in the very narrow, and I say very narrow, in the very narrow ride lanes, the ride lane of the Little Mermaid, the little lanes of the Little Mermaid ride queue. Accordingly, somebody who had a scooter, or otherwise known as a electronic mobile device that helps somebody who has mobility issues move along and get somewhere. I guess the scooter trapped somebody's foot, and then they had an injury, and now that person is suing Disney for $50,000. Let's say that again. $50,000. I mean, it's not very big, but it's $50,000 for a foot injury. I don't know if they're being represented by one of these big time attorneys in the Orlando area, like we have here in Detroit, But, I'm sure that Disney, they're speculating Disney will settle this out of court, and then the person will be along their way. I don't know. Hopefully they don't get banned, or something bad happens to them where they can't go to the parks anymore because they sued. I don't know how that all works. I wouldn't think that Disney would do that to them, but you never know. You never know. So yeah, that's another lawsuit that Disney is, at least we're able to get rid of the one lawsuit where the guy dismissed it on his own, where he tripped on the trolley tracks at the Magic Kingdom. Amazing, you know what I'm saying? So, I talked the other week about how in August we're seeing some Halloween stuff come about, and what is Disney the company that everybody falls behind for decorations and whatnot, and so is Disney pushing the envelope with early October early August Halloween. And so now, of course, places like Home Depot and other places are starting to have their Halloween decorations up. Maybe, of course, I went there before, the Home Goods store. That's where infamous Kyle Paulo shops at. The at-home store already has all sorts of decorations that you could buy, all sorts of things, knickknacks and things that they have there. But accordingly, now at Costco you can buy a 10-foot Maleficent, and that's the woman who turns into a dragon. And anyways, so she, in her human form, is 10 feet tall. That's really huge. And, everybody wants to go bigger on Halloween. I know that there's people that started out with very small, maybe like 5 to 6 foot skeletons. And now they have a skeleton that's almost, it's as large as your house. So maybe like 20, 30 feet tall. Where do you get the box? Home Depot has a huge box that probably can contain one of those ginormous. They're huge. One of those big, giant, huge skeletons. I mean, that's a lot for Halloween. I don't know how much those things cost. They're pretty expensive, but you can't miss them. They draw your eye to them, and they I think that a 10-foot Maleficent would be really. That's huge. I think they only have them in Florida, but I'm just joking around there. Okay, anyways, let's get around this corner here. Yeehaw! The wildest ride in the West. All right, yeah, right. Okay, Epcot in Disney, the Odyssey Pavilion, which I don't see much going on there. The Odyssey Pavilion, right quick, is going to be having, it's closed down for right now and all blocked up and stuff like that with walls. Well, they might be having some beer or wine or something from the food and wine, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen because they haven't told us yet, but in the future I'm sure they will, because it's going to be part of the food and wine. And in previous years it's been like a beer place where you get beer. Look, if you're a young person, with or without your kids, that might be your stop this year at the Odyssey Pavilion, where you might be able to get great beer and wine and food and stuff like that. So now you'll have 2 stops, one at Epcot and one in the American Plaza, the American portion at the Diamond Horseshoe. Anyways, yeah. Okay, yeah, and then also now the board. One last thing is the boardwalk and the yacht club. They're going to be having some type of the friendship boat that takes you from there. That transportation has a refurbishment, and now people have made it into, oh yeah, now we're going to shut down all of the boat transportation from those 2 places, and you'll have to walk all the time now. That's not what's happening. It's just a little small refurbishment and everything else like that. So, it's not going to be that bad. Only a few days that you have to maybe walk or catch a bus maybe. But anyways, that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching. And yeah, of course, we're at our destination here this morning. So anyways, you guys have a great one. And you know what time it is for now. Over and out.